Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where we give you free swim workouts and tips on how to swim better. My name is Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete. I'm racing that short course, Olympic distance, draft legal game. And with me is the fastest swimmer in 70.3 triathlon. So fast, they give him his own swim cap at races. Greg Harper, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, when Ironman gives me my purple special cap, I feel very privileged. But it is cool because then your family and friends can like point you out on the stream and now they know me a little
Yeah,
bit. So yeah, it's fun to get that screen time and recognition.
yeah.
But yeah, we're just yeah, I've been swimming my whole life too, and we're just here trying to help people improve their swim. And Nate is bringing the swim sets from across the world on his travels all over the place. So now we're
Yeah.
getting a good one today from the German National Triathlon Squad. So if you're like a big triathlon fan out there, Eustace Nieschlag, Jonas Schomburg, who actually did an Ironman a few weeks ago and like actually crushed
Didn't he
it.
get like second place at
Yeah, or third. I thought he would just do his normal like sprint and then die, which he
yeah.
does do on
No,
a
he
fair amount of
crushed it.
podcasts. Yeah, he did super well.
Oh yeah, he was
Um,
third at Ironman South
South.
Africa after Ditlev and
Mhm.
Martin Van Riel. And he just did that for fun. He was like, "Oh, I'm at training camp in Namibia.
Training day.
I might as well take the 2 hour flight to South Africa and do this Ironman." Now he's going to World
And
Championships this year.
yep, and he's a really good swimmer. Like he's
Oh
at the
yeah,
front of the, World Triathlon Series swims. So
yeah,
he
yeah.
is one of the best swimmers. I know he's got massive speed. Like my buddy Ernie, who lives in Girona,
Hmm.
will like swim with them or swim next to him. And I know he's like throwing down like 27, 50-meter sprints and stuff
Yeah.
like that, so he's got some serious speed.
Dude, that was actually really funny to watch because like Jamie Riddle was leading out of the water and he like tries to wave some of those guys through and they just pat him on the back and they're like, "No, Jamie, you got this." And I'm
So, hey,
like,
you're doing great,
yeah,
buddy.
you're doing, just lead another mile and a half, just it's all good. I was like, come on,
Uh,
guys. But
that's
that's the game.
yeah, especially in a long race like that. Um, Yeah, great. So, yeah, so disclaimer, the workout is written in German, so we'll take some liberties. And I think, honestly, some of the stuff we're not quite sure, like in the warm up, we'll maybe just kind of fill in and like kind of give a warm up that we would like to do too.
Yeah,
But
for
we have
sure.
like kind of the main gist of what they were doing. And Nate saw them
Yeah, yeah.
out there.
I took this
Wait, so
photo of the set. It's on a whiteboard at the pool. They were swimming like right after us, so I was just like, "Oh, this is a cool set." And then I realized I didn't understand it. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of guess on some of the stuff that we're not sure on. If any of you speak German or can read this writing, put it in the comments on YouTube and let us know because it'll be interesting. We'll post the little. You'll see it in the video. But yeah,
And I'll give a quick tip for today, and it kind of goes into this because during the set, these guys are doing a lot of ear pricking and taking lactate. And my quick tip is just be careful with data in general. I mean, swimming and stuff, and bike and run. If you're a triathlete, like you can get so hyper focused on it that it almost takes the joy out of things too. And especially in the pool, where I think of it much more like an art than it is a science. That your heart rate data and your pacing on your watch, like those things aren't even that accurate. We always hype on don't wear a watch. And I
hmm
think a lot of good swim coaches would say the same. So just be really careful with it. And if you don't really know why you're measuring the data, like you don't need it. So
yeah.
yeah.
And also, you may see these like top level pros using all this data and doing these things. A lot of them, like the people doing this set today, they had a coach on deck. They actually had two coaches with them for like I don't know, 12 athletes or something on the deck. And every single day they're there, those coaches. And like a lot of these top level squads, there's a coach with them every single swim session. So if you know that's not you, then you don't necessarily need to like copy some of these things because they have someone else doing the analyzing for them.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like its data is useful, like massive trends over time and collecting large amounts of data. But like, oh, I want to use lactate in the pool because I saw the Norwegians. It's like if you haven't taken lactate for 6 months straight and like understand how it changes based on your fuel consumption and your efforts and like have someone who is an expert in that helping guide you, it's like it's you're just wasting your time and money. Like these strips are like $1 a piece.
Yeah.
So like, and that's not the thing that's going to move you. These are one percenters that professional athletes focus on. It's like just go train, sometimes go hard, eat well and sleep well. And like that covers 99% of what you need to focus on. So don't get caught up in it. But like we said, we will talk some smack because I think taking lactate in the pool is kind of dumb, but like these guys are really good and they have sports scientists probably helping them. So
Yeah.
I think that could be, yeah, beneficial, I guess, in this context.
Hmm. So yeah, 200 easy. We know that part. There's a 200 in E. I'm gonna assume they warm up 200 easy, and then it looks like 4 by 100. It's like 25 plus 25, so maybe like 25 drill or 25 kick, maybe
It
potentially.
kind of looks like that, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
We'll say 25 drill and 25 kick. I think that's good. And
yeah,
maybe we'll go like two free, two non-free.
yeah,
Um,
something like that.
and then it's two 300s and it's 25 plus a 75 and it's the same acronyms too. So I I feel like I don't know what we could do, but plus another 75 kick would be good at the end. But
Hmm.
I don't know for that first 25. Let's go like one breath or less. I always like doing some hypoxic stuff for people or even
Yeah.
no breath. So like 25 no breath into 75 kick and we'll really get those legs warmed up because it's a lot of swimming
Hmm.
after that. And then it goes into 450s where it's 25 build up into 25 fast. And that's on the 1 minute. So these are kind of like primers for the rest of the workout on a pretty easy interval.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's good to do a little kick. It's good to do a little stroke. And a lot of these guys, they were also warming up, doing some backstroke, and like they're also chatting, with each other, like in between the walls, and it's just kind of like a chill vibe, like they know the work is coming later in the set. So one thing that I see a lot of fast swimmers and good pros do is they don't take the warm up too seriously. Like they just kind of warm up, they loosen up, they like do what they need to do to like feel good. And yeah, I saw like that's kind of what these guys were doing here too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it's about. And that's why swimming with squad and friends too. It's like you get there, maybe you're not feeling great, but then you're warming up, you're kind of like shooting the shit, talking smack with your friends and like getting in a good mood, and then you're ready to like hammer and go hard. And the main set is it says 2 by 3 by 400. So basically six 400s. Maybe they took a little extra break after a three. And like Nate said, they were like getting out, maybe pricking their ears and taking lactate. But it looks like to me where it's kind of like you're squeezing it down. It's like one, two, and three, like kind of descend one to three, four to six.
Hmm.
And maybe kind of like, you know, steady in tempo. Then you're kind of going threshold and maybe you're kind of going one harder. And I think that'd be a good way to do six 400s as well, where you're like, yeah, changing the gears, like we said. You're not over swimming it. And that second one, you're feeling good and strong. And third one, you're overreaching. And then you're kind of going back and repeating that process.
Hmm. Yeah, and these guys, I mean, we were at altitude for this camp, like 1,700 meters, almost 6,000 feet. So they're probably swimming 115 per 100 to like 120 per 100, and then they're doing this on like a 545. So they're getting a good amount of rest, like 25, 30 seconds rest. On
This
these,
was long course. I forget. Did
it
you
was
just say
short
that?
course meters.
Short course.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they're getting a good amount of rest, and yeah, and then I guess the 645 may have been like the women's interval or something, um, for the team, and yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that would get a fair amount of rest. I mean, someone especially like Jonas. I mean,
yeah,
if he's doing a hard 400 in meters, he's probably going sub 110
yeah,
pace
yeah.
or in that ballpark. So,
Hmm.
we like short inter sometimes we talk about short intervals, and if you're doing aerobic work, that's great. But like if you're gonna go fast too, it's okay to take that long rest. And I think 400s are a really good. Like if you're kind of upper end age grouper or like a professional, I wouldn't crush 400s all the time, but I did 10 400s basically every single week for like 3 or 4 years growing up. Mostly in the summer. So I guess that was like
Hmm.
three months out of the year. And it was one of my favorites. And we just like we would squeeze the interval down each week and I would get amped up for it. It was just basically 10 400s. Like, you warm up and you just go for 10 400s. And it was kind of like a threshold type
Hmm.
effort the whole time. And yeah, you can get super fit doing that, but it can be it's a massive set as well.
Yeah.
So it's not like something you can do like, multiple times a week. Yeah, in your programming.
Yeah, for sure. I think when I was swimming in college and I was swimming the mile, 1650, one of the sets that was kind of similar to this that I did was 8 by 500 on like 6 minutes. So we would just kind of try and hold a strong pace for those. And then, yeah, at the end, you're like definitely feeling it's a little bit harder. But yeah, we did not do those longer intervals for too long and too many days a week. We were mostly doing like a little bit shorter intervals. And like Jonas went to Ironman South Africa after this, so I feel like 400s for him, he was probably kind of doing these at some sort of close to Ironman pace and getting in the zone for that.
Yeah, no, totally. And it's a long enough rep where you can kind of play around with it, where you can go pretty hard, or you can kind of settle into that like aerobic feeling. So yeah, and they go into kind of 5 200s after, which is looks like it's a pole set.
Hmm.
I'll usually do 800 to 1,000 a pole at the end of a lot of my workouts too. So I think that's a good general structure. And yeah, ends up being a 5K on the day for these guys and some quality work in there.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of So this is my kind of take. I personally don't use lactate when I swim. I am similar in Greg is like swimming is definitely more of an art to me than a science. And I'm still so much focused on my technique because I started swimming at a competitive level when I was like 19, so much later than Greg. He was setting age group records at a young age. So I still think I have room to improve my technique in the pool. And when you're just so focused on hitting a certain number, whether it's a pace on the clock or on your watch or a number on the friggin' lactate thing, uh, you aren't leaving enough room maybe to focus on your technique and improving your efficiency because swimming is all about efficiency. Water is 800 times more dense than air, and you're just trying to be as streamlined through the water and move through it as smooth as possible. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. And also, like, I think most even pros are not good enough swimmers to where they're going to benefit from using lactate in the pool. Like, so many pro triathletes could just like focus on all these things that they're not focusing on. And I see this a lot with long distance guys because like all the long distance guys have YouTube channels these days. So like they're posting videos of them swimming and stuff. And some guys like don't even swim with squads. Like they don't even train with other people. So like that's a huge gain you can make right there. Like not just on how fast you're swimming, but just the mental load each week. Like I swim with a buddy pretty much every single day. And I used to not do that. Like last year, I swam mostly alone, and just the amount of yards I could tick off, and it just doesn't even feel like it because I have someone there to like chat with in between the intervals and like keep track of the time. Like that's what I think is helping me improve. And I'm already swimming so much faster than I was this time last year. And yeah, it's just most pros, I feel like just because the Norwegians do it doesn't mean you have to do it. That's all I got to say about
Yeah.
that.
No, I think you're right. And Christian and Gustav, it's like the swim is their weakness. And they can kind of science their way to the top on bike and run, and they have these incredible engines and high VO2 maxes, but I've seen videos of them like getting out and doing the VO2 master like in their swim pool, and it's like they're good at swimming, but they're not at the same level of bike and run because you can't just science and data your way to the top of the swim world because it is an art. And if you don't fundamentally think about it like that, I don't think you can kind of reach that level. It's like, yes, if Michael Phelps and Bob Bowman are been training for 8 years for the Olympics and he's 23 and they do some lactate training, which I don't know if they did much. I think maybe they possibly did a little bit, but it's like the 0.01%, like, and he's trying to extract his genetic potential. But if like you're not in that ballpark, like you've maximized 99% in all the other areas, and you're trying to like prick your finger and to take lactate to to help you in the pool, it's like that's probably not the thing you're most focused on because yeah, in the end, your technique is probably not sound. No triathlete on earth really. Like, even me, I'm like, oh, fastest swimmer in triathlon. It's like, well, I wasn't a professional swimmer and I couldn't have been because I wasn't fast enough. So it's like, you just got to focus on the right things. And it's probably something that you can leave at home and save yourself some money.
Hmm. Or just like save it for your bike sessions, you know? Oh, that'll be
Yeah.
chill. Save the
Yeah.
lactate strips for the bike sessions. Because, you get one drop of chlorine in there and then you're screwed, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta use another strip.
Yep.
But yeah, so I don't know. You have any other thoughts on this set? I mean, do you wanna change anything, or you think that main set's fine?
Yeah, I think it's fine. We kind of like took some liberties and wrote in what we thought they were doing
Yeah, yeah.
anyway.
Again, we don't speak German.
So yeah, I think it's a pretty solid set, and yeah, I think 400s are good reps, but more for the
Hmm.
advanced person for sure. And I don't think you need to crush reps like that if you're like a developing swimmer per se.
Yeah, for sure. And if you are developing simmer, we've got like 50 episodes out there. I'm sure you could find multiple episodes that would be good for you. And we even have some that are like geared towards beginners. So yeah, just scroll through the old YouTube videos and find a set that works for you. But yeah, what is that warm down, like 200? Let's just call it 200 warm down
Yeah,
after this.
yeah. So 5K on the day.
Yeah, 5K on the day. Um, Yeah, I mean, I kind of said my hot take earlier, but I was also thinking if you're a male pro triathlete and there's high school girls who are swimming faster than you, you you definitely could swim faster without focusing on the lactate and all that. There's more room for improvement.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Focus on the right things.
Yeah, and I'm speaking from experience. Honestly, not even a high school girl. I got beat by a 12-year-old girl in a 50 breaststroke on this Africa camp that I was on, and that made me realize, you know what? I don't think I've reached my peak potential at 26 years old in swimming if I'm getting beat by a 12-year-old girl. Rosie, she just taught me a lot about swimming, and I got mad respect for her. She's probably gonna go to the Olympics one day. But
Yep,
yeah.
sounds like it.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys you like this episode. If you want to support me and Greg a little bit, we have a Patreon now. It's just $5 a month. You got some cool perks if you join up with that. And the link to that is in the show notes. And yeah, find a swim buddy, swim faster, and listen to another episode.
Cheers.
See ya.